Hello, 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 hello. Look, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year! Happy New Year! We made it,
Yes,
okay?
we made it. We made it, honey. Thank the
Happy
Lord.
2026.
Girl, happy
And look,
2026.
let me just say this. Let me tell y'all, Miss Angela sent me the most beautiful message on New Year's, just saying how much she appreciated me doing this journey with her, and it was so sweet. I think a little tear fell, like, oh my goodness. Because thank you also, right? We did start this journey. I mean, and it wasn't until you sent it that it really just reminded me that we started this. It was a year, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
About a year, yeah.
And so I'm like, oh my God, like she's right. We, and thank you. So I want to say the same thing. Thank you
for
joining me and sticking to it, right? You know, because we've been good. We may have had to reschedule. And we may have this.
Look, we might be a little late, but we coming.
Right, and we might be a little late here and there.
Yeah, we coming.
But at the same time, I feel like we have done an excellent job of just even staying committed.
Yes.
And that just really meant a lot to me. Just for, like I said, it was a reminder, right? Because some stuff I just be on autopilot sometimes. And didn't even take the time to really think about that. So I appreciate you for sending me that message. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you for joining me also.
Well, thank you. Now let's see. Someone else has sent me a heartfelt text. I think it was, I didn't read it till later on. But I'm like, who is this? You don't be saving numbers or whatever. It brought tears to my eyes. I was having a rough day. As I said, we had family members that passed. And I'm like, oh, I said, you just don't know how you just blessed my soul. And that lady was like, and I was like, who is this? Well, she was someone who my husband's cousin used for us, a travel agent when we went to Cancun a couple years back. And I go, oh, girl, I said, you should be a motivational speaker.
What you say? I heard that.
Girl, because she spoke life into me. Because Heidi, I was like, how a lot of times if I don't recognize the number, I don't even really read it if it looked long. Especially, but it had my name on there. I'm like, okay, who is this? And as I got to reading, I'm like, oh, that was so nice. So yeah. Shouts out to people who send out good messages because you don't know who you are affecting. Yes.
You never know what it might do for a person.
Yes.
Right? Like you said, not knowing the state that they may be in. And just not knowing what that might do, feed their soul.
Exactly.
So yeah, that was nice.
Yes, honey. I said, oh, that was something. Then today earlier, while you were live, one of my favorite YouTubers I like to watch, he was live and he was
like, it's not me.
I've been watching him probably about 2-3 years. Mm-hmm. And he's in the hospital. He's an RN. And I guess this past weekend he found out he had to do dialysis. Girl. And he's a young guy.
Wow, it gets started that quick? Lord Jesus.
Yes. He was sick. He thought he had the flu or something. But just watching it, I'm like, oh my God, because he's a young guy. He's like, I think he said 37 or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, so you just don't know. And I'm like, well, thank God I'm here. We made it.
Well, one thing about it, and like we said, we're going to send our condolences out to your family members, to you and your family members as well, because we say it all the time, as Black folks, and especially when we get into the funerals, when you say your last goodbyes. I know my family does it all the time. We can't keep getting together like this. But like I told you, I think on the previous live, we talked about it. And it's important to let the people know why they're here, why you can talk to them, why they can hear you, possibly, hopefully. And it's important to show up then when you have the chance to.
Yes.
Because of course paying your last respects is fine and good, nothing wrong with it, but it's a little too late by then, you know.
Exactly,
so you get the moment and the chance. It's just always good to let somebody know how they have blessed your life.
Yes, it is. It sure is. And also, let me shut up.
Also, how they have not blessed it.
You fucked up my life. Look.
Also, some of the blessings they got in between.
Exactly.
Well, actually, you blocked my one blessing here, though.
What you say? You said you talked about that living funeral.
Yes, right. Like that's what I was gonna tell you. You sound like me, girl. Like I'll tell you, I'll be cussing the people out.
I didn't like you, bitch. How you gonna come to my living funeral? But anyways, look. After let's talk about these shady women, honey. We got, we got the Real Housewives of Potomac, the altitude with the attitude, and then we got Married to Medicine with the baggage check, honey.
Okay,
check, honey. So we're gonna get on with the Real Housewives of Potomac, or shall we say Potomac?
Okay, well, it's something, right?
Girl, it's something. It's something. I don't know, but we got some mini scenes. You got Dr. Wendy. Should I call her the Nigerian scammer? She's doing a commencement speech at I think it was a girls' school. I thought, oh, look at her. Then we got Stacy and Arabella. Arabella is cutting with the wrong hand, according to Stacy. And Arabella said, I am ambidextrous. Am I pronouncing ambidextrous?
You know what?
That word.
I was gonna say it's a different way, but it sounds like you saying it right.
Ambidextrous.
My son is whatever that word is, but he uses both hands. It's funny. But I thought it was funny that Stacy said, "How did I notice that?" Because it's true. How didn't you notice it? My son writes with his left hand, but he does things with his right hand. Mm-hmm. And how I noticed it was when we went long years ago when we first got a Wii and we started playing the Wii. Because up until then he hadn't played a sport or anything, so everything that he did it with his left hand. Like his schoolwork and stuff. But when we got the Wii, I noticed that he would play with his right hand. And that's what I thought. I said, I thought you was left-handed.
Well, you know what? So can he write with both hands or no?
Oh, that's a good question.
Because that's what I always thought that meant, that you can write with both hands. Because my aunt does that.
Well, you know what? Now, let's ask ChatGPT since we own it, because I don't know that I thought it was using both hands, but I didn't necessarily pick up if it was writing. Mm-hmm. I've never called him writing with his right hand. Every time at least that I can remember watching him write or watching him do something, it was with the left. Mm-hmm. But I want to ask him that though. Good question.
Oh, so he's a left-handed. He's good at math?
He is.
My mom is too. She's left-handed.
He's good at math. That boy, I call him, he's a numbers person.
That's my mom.
I wish he would have really stuck with accounting. That was what he had first started going to school for.
Yeah.
But the lunch number, he was very young, maybe about first or second grade, and it was a password or whatever it is. He had to give me his lunch number for some reason, and that lunch number was about 7 numbers or 6 numbers or something. And I thought, how are you able to remember that? Like, I feel like my number was like 4 or something.
My number was blue. But my mom, she's an accountant, so yeah, okay. She's left-handed. Yeah, honey, we went to go and see what's that movie, Hidden Figures. She knew all those equations. I'm like, oh, you really are smart.
Wow.
Yeah, so she says I'm ambidextrous, however you pronounce it. And I go, oh wow, look at this little girl, and she's only 9, and she's saying that 50-cent word, honey. So we know she already know about what's going on with her parents, okay? So she already figured it out. So then we got Kay out there at the billboard Look like Greg is about 4 or 5 sheets in the wind. And Kay is so happy because she's about to get this billboard. And when it comes on, it says, turn back the clock. But she says, turn the clock back. So, but she's excited. So our first real scene, we have Tia. And she goes and visits her dad's old home. That's the reason why she moved to DC. She said her dad hated, I think, London. He loved DC. So she drives past his house all the time. Finally, she got the courage to find out who the owner was, emailed the lady, and here we are. We're at the house. The house had, it's changed, but she took a picture similar to the picture that her dad took with her when they were kids. So she had her sister and a couple of her children with her. And she went into one of the rooms, and it had a quote, but the quote date was the father's birthday. And honey, Tia just cried. She talked to the brother on FaceTime. The white lady gave him a hug, and she said, "You can come back anytime." What do you think about that scene?
I thought it was a sweet scene. I think I felt a little confused by it. Even every time, I don't know. I just said, "Okay, Tia, girl," because when did he pass? Because I thought she said it was like 8 years. I don't know. It felt like a lot of time. I don't know, to have passed by for them to be going to the house at this moment. But listen, maybe I am judging too much.
Girl, I had it happen to me.
Somebody came and asked if they could come.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. Actually, he came twice. I said, damn. But wow. And then my husband told me once that the kids did. Well, we've been living here 20 years. The person who we bought the house from, they lived here probably about 20 years because the house is 50 years old or 55. And so he was the second owner. So the first time he came, I think he just came. Then the second time he came, he brought the book that had all of the, because it was farmland out here first. And then it had like all of the, the architect and the builders and all that kind of stuff to go along with it. So, yeah, but he raised his kids here. I think he's a chemist. And he ended up moving to black man, moved to Springfield, I think Illinois. But my neighbor is his ex-brother-in-law. So maybe as he go over there, then he would come over here or something. I don't know. But he did it twice, and I think he came. And because my husband said the daughter came once, that he raised his children here. And I said, oh, well, people do that then, huh?
Yeah, I'm with you. I guess so. The most I'm going to do is ride past the house. Like, that's where we used to live. Like, but in my defense with that, like the house my mom was able to purchase in Chicago in the Morgan Park area. We were there for probably maybe about 3 years, 4 years, something like that. So I'm saying I didn't necessarily have a long amount of time in that house. So yeah, for me, it's just another place that we stay.
I remember once on Facebook, I had friended some Mexican girl that used to be at the Y, because at the time I was natural, having a little fro out, and she would she would say that we were twins because her hair was like mine. She said everybody think I'm mixed. I was like, well, the hair is telling a different story. So one time I just happened to see something she posted, and I'm looking, they had renovated this house, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, oh, I start feeling real weird and stuff. And I text her and I go, is this house on Chestnut Street? She's like, yeah. I'm like, that's my grandma's old house. Wow. And it was my grandmother that came down here in the 68. They bought the house and the house next to them. Girl, and them family members and sold my grandma's house and the house next to them for nothing. Nothing. I said, it's something with people. Girl, sold it for nothing. As much as these people be in and out of prison and folks need somewhere to stay.
I know that's right? You say you better hold on to something.
Exactly, girl. Sold. I'm talking about for less than $1,000 is what they sold.
Oh no.
Yes. I said, are you kidding me? But they had renovated it. And I just thought, you know, you just feel a little different. I said, oh my God, that's my grandma's house. Mm-hmm. But, you know, they did a good job with it. And it was funny when they did sell the house, everybody on the block came over to help the man painted it, the first owner who bought it, because they were so used to my grandma being over there. It's this Miss Cooper house. And when, you know, they going over there doing, I'm like, oh Lord. And they sold it for nothing. Yes, honey. You know how folks do.
Right. I would like to go over to that area. I've never taken my boys over there. Because actually, when we lived in that area in Morgan Park, we were like the only family members that was that way. I think Morgan Park would still be considered south, but it might be. I would have to double check because everybody else stayed more southeast, closer to Stony, and that's where they still live now. My auntie's house would probably be that type of house that maybe if I live long enough and if nobody keeps it in the house, that would be something that I would go back to and say, oh, I would really like to see it because that house has been the house for my whole life, right? You know, that they've lived in. You know what I mean? So yeah, I have an attachment to that house. I can say that. Yeah.
That's the same way with my husband's family. Their grandmother's house, somehow it got in a fire when somebody else was living in it. I mean, one of the family members. Whatever happened to the insurance money, whatever, the house went on tax sale or something. And so when the people who moved in it, that bought it for nothing a couple years ago, some of the family members actually asked to come in because my husband was born in that house and he born 1970. So that house has been out of their family probably about the last 8 years. So it was, I heard that was the house everybody went to. We partied over there. Exactly. Everything happened at his grandma's house, honey. Yeah. While they was over there playing the blues.
That's how that house is. Like everything. And even with my little cousins, which they are adults now, but I remember like it's a room, that front room that I remember telling them like, you know, this is my room. Like y'all can be here now, but just know that this was my room before any of you came.
My daughter and their cousins, they always joke, you not related to us if you ain't never had to sit on the stairs, because back then they had to, like when the adults were doing the thing, the kids had to go and sit on the stairs after it got a certain time. They said, so you was at Big Mama house, you had to sit on them stairs.
Yeah. So it was a sweet thing for that much.
Yes. Yeah, but I was a little curious. I said, is that when he spent up all the money and he moved to Washington, D.C.?
Listen, the timeline is a little iffy for me. So that's why I say I think I was a little confused.
Yes. So then we got the OG meetup. So we got Ashley, Giselle, and the scamming pink professor. I'm going to keep messing with Wendy. I'm not liking her too much in this one. And then the reason why, we'll get to it. But they're talking about the event, and they thought they did a good job at the event. I thought, okay. They also talked about about Timu. And she was saying that was her friend Giselle. Like, that's your friend? Whatever. Then they were invited to the Sip and Read, which was Monique's event. And they also talked about Angel being a wet blanket, Debbie Downer, and Giselle feeling like they've been duped. And the Colorado trip. What do you think?
The only thing I really thought about that scene, honestly, y'all, was I told y'all Wendy wanted to be a part of the group.
That's how I felt.
That I told y'all I was gonna bump like this.
Yes.
Told y'all.
Because when she told
y'all she wanted to be in with girl Jizzy, and now that she is, it's almost like talk about catfish, right?
Girl.
You know what I mean?
Girl, Whitney is a whole damn catfish, period. Shit, I remember what she looked like when she got on there. Now, come on.
Well, like I said, talk about catfish.
Yes.
This is a whole nother girl sitting in front of us. So that was my thoughts about the scene. No, it was just like funny seeing you here, right?
Exactly.
And funny with you. Now listen, was she lying about Angela being, or Angela? Look at me giving her a whole nother name about Angel being a wet blanket. No, she called it right.
She did. She really did.
Yeah, she called it right.
Mm-hmm. So then we have Angel on the phone with her sister Ingrid, and she's talking about the move. You know how it came up so quickly, and basically she said, "Me getting evicted, moving down here for the girl." I'm like, "Yeah." She said they can kiss my ass with that.
People have done worse, Wendy. Right? Like, so maybe you did. You know what I mean?
And she go, she says Colorado is her safe place. So
I hope we get to see what's so great about Colorado. Now, listen, I ain't never been to Colorado.
I've been there.
And you have said that. Mm-hmm. And I do think, at least from photos that I've seen or whatever, it feels like a pretty place, right? I can see it being somewhat peaceful. I think anywhere where nature is beautiful, that's probably why I like cruises so much. I tell people about that. And I know I'm a water baby. I love being by the water. But also, I think I do take pleasure in having moments to reflect on nature, because that's kind of like God's like paintbrush or something. Mm-hmm. And so I could see that being that type of place. But God, what else is there to do? Okay, what else?
Girl, they got casinos. They got all kinds of stuff. We had our family reunion in Denver.
Hopefully we get to see all of that.
Yes.
That's just where I'm coming from. What else is going on besides the 420? Okay.
So, from what I gather, they're out a little bit outside of Denver. That's from watching the after show. So we get over there to, it was Ashley. Oh girl, let me go over here to my media assets, because I was feeling like this is a little weird here, Miss Ashley.
Oh, that Ashley has here I go. Everybody must be on the payroll, but Ashley has inadvertently made her mother's storyline her storyline. Oh,
yeah.
Thanks.
I'm like, she making the drink? Why is the little boy right there, right up under her? Why is she making this drink?
Oh, well, if that goes under the book for bad parenting.
I just thought he was a little bit too close. I would say, get your ass back. That's me.
Maybe,
Yeah, I'm pouring the liquor.
Because maybe, but I think I said, how old is her son? Look,
6.
I know I haven't sent one of the boys to the fridge.
I mean, I'm not saying that either, but you're pouring the liquor. He all in the way. What is he doing? Get your little ass back. I think
agree. You know what? I agree. I agree in the sense of, but that's a party. A lot is going on. So
I don't think the party started yet. They getting ready for the party.
Listen, I'm trying to get this lady some grace. You know, I don't give Ashley much.
Yeah.
I was just trying to take up for the girls.
No.
I'm saying like, hey, because I agree, it's certain stuff that it's so funny. I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. I feel like all my kids never knew that I had participated in 420 until they was absolutely grown.
Oh.
Which is funny to me, because not because I did I did it the way that I did, right? And of course it was for them to not, but not in such a sense to where they would never question, you know what I mean?
Girl, well, I don't participate.
I did it, you know.
Yeah, I'm just saying, we on TV. Get your little ass back.
Baby, let me tell y'all about Jordan drinking the lemonade. I came home. I remember calling my mom about it. I did not drink liquor in the house for a long time, but I came home from work. I mixed me some margarita mix with some 1800 tequila, right? Just mixed it up, poured me a glass, put the rest in the freezer, and I went to my bedroom, right, to have my cocktail. My son comes to the bedroom and he's like, Mom, can I have some more of that lemonade? Lemonade.
Well, you left it in the refrigerator, so shoot.
Oh, I said, Lord, I called Mama. I was like, the people gonna come and get me. I did not keep licking in the house for a long minute after that. And I don't think he had much, but I just. Right. I was very protective over them that way.
So we got a picture of my daughter has on her screensaver now because I was going through the room and found, you know how you used to get the pictures developed? Well, evidently my husband had all these pictures developed of him taking pictures of the kids. This is more than 20 years ago. So my daughter is probably like 10. She's got the picture of the Budweiser can and she got it up like that.
Now take it back. You can't say nothing about Ashley.
Girl, that's my husband doing. Girl, that's my husband doing. They ain't got shit to do with me. I don't drink. No, that's him. You know, he probably thought this was the cutest shit. Go ahead, Deasha. So he got it on his screensaver. But yeah, I thought if we on TV, you better get your little stuff back out the damn way. I'm sorry. You know. But anyway, so Ashley got her family over and I thought, oh, there goes her grandma. Her grandma, like the low down person that what's Ashley's mama name? I can't even think her name. What's her name?
What is her name? I don't remember it.
Sheila. She like Sheila, that no good dog that had Sheila living in the tent under the bridge. I said, oh, go ahead, Granny.
Well, that's what I said. They all on the payroll.
Girl, but we know his name is John and he's in rehab, honey. Because Uncle Lump said, what we talking about? John going to rehab. So
it's funny because it seemed like they was trying to tiptoe it. I feel like the scene, not even trying to be like cold or heartless, but John, like who the F cares? You know what I mean? And like I said, Ashley has inadvertently made her mother's storyline hers.
Yes. So I'm like, we ain't even.
What I did notice too is Ashley obviously, in a sense, I don't think she can say Michael's name.
Oh, she said my ex. Okay.
I feel right, and I feel like because just about like this is my complaint about Ashley the whole time is that she's not having any conversation at all. Like I would even think that you would maybe speak a little bit more, not to say you got to spill it all, but maybe just be a little more forthcoming about the divorce, about how you got there, about whatever you transpired going through it. Unless there was something signed that was saying, you know, you are not allowed to disparage me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's pretty normal for some of these reality stars that end up going through divorces. So I don't think that's that far-fetched. And like you said, when she said my ex, you know, was like, because I mentioned in one of our earlier reviews, I said she seems to be kind of rewriting the story.
Yeah.
Which to act like this man never existed, like we didn't watch it, you know what I mean, on television. And television does work that way because eventually there will be a group of people who didn't see it, you know what I mean? When I noted that she said my ex, and I thought, Michael, you know what I mean? Like, why wouldn't you just say his name? Because everybody here know who you talking about, right?
Yes. So yeah, I just thought, oh wow. And I said, well, dang, her family came, and I guess the ex didn't want to be around them black people, so I guess she couldn't have all.
Well, she has said that in previous seasons. She said that before, very early, I believe. And I don't want to you say what season, but I do remember her saying that in an earlier season that there was issue with getting the families together.
Wow. Maybe because I thought her family may look a little different, but shit, she stick right. She look right like them. You know what I'm saying? It's a family full of light-skinned people. So it seems like he shouldn't have had too much of an issue if he dealing with her. But anyways, we on the next scene we got the sipping read. Is it called the sipping read? The love letters.
Sipping read with Miss Monique, honey. Yeah. Monique came in with her own damn event. Go girl.
Yes, she probably had it already scheduled. Just added their asses on there and threw the damn binder. So anyways, Monique said she's been working on her book, The Love Letters, for 2 years. She had invited Angel. Angel invited her to Colorado. Angel arrived. She's sitting next to Stacy. We have Tia was the last one to arrive. Monique is very long-winded. And I just felt like, okay, as you seen everybody start fidgeting around, you probably should have cut it, a little bit. So ultimately, she gives the ladies binders, and they have to talk about how they think or how they perceive that people may perceive them. And then you would go on the different tabs and talk about your castmates. Well, they did that, and then they had to switch. Here's, she said she's been working on her journey, but she didn't want God to take away her shadiness. So they do that, and hell breaks loose. Giselle didn't think shit about Stacy, so she left it blank. Stacy basically said Giselle's petty, and Ashley calls what's her name? Angel, a catfish again, and said she doesn't walk in her truth. And she said, well, you think that, then why you want to come to my house? Maybe you should rethink that. Giselle said, that's my bestie. She don't go, I'll go. She said, okay then, noted. So then we have what Wendy said about Kay. She calls Kay fake. Kay said, at least my bags is real. I said,
I thought, listen, Kay, that's why the hell you need to get the hell on up out of here. Now we gonna get into Miss Toya, or like maybe y'all two need to get together.
Girl.
But listen, you saw nobody in the room, nobody at the table. Like that's the way I think when Toya brings it up. That's what goes on in my mind. Just crickets. Like, oh. Okay, right.
Because we know damn well Dr. But what we did, girl. We did discuss. It'd be a little messy here. Remember you said we was talking about Wendy when we did the whole little show, our live on Wendy and Eddie, and you said about maybe some of her stuff might not have been real because she wasn't able to, to hawk them or pardon.
Well, I was talking about the things that the people feel like they have found, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Wendy is sitting over with this whole thing sitting pretty. I think there's a reason for that. You know what I mean? Like, and so, the only thing that I can. Oh, so you saying that's why Kay said it because she had to kind of okay, I'm a little slow with it, but yeah, but I'm thinking that's why Wendy ain't really stressing what's going on over here because she trying to wait for them to figure out them counterfeit bags, or counterfeit things that you done found.
Is she? Where's she shopping at?
It's possible, it's possible because honestly, and even though Kay just said it as a clapback, and like I said, but I don't know who walks around really kind of, I don't know. Like, it's very mean girl activity. And so that was a clap. And maybe it was a dig to Wendy. Because they into it too.
Yeah.
That was a good catch. They may have been. I didn't even catch that. I just thought, girl, here I go, womp, womp, womp. That's exactly what I thought.
I thought of you instantly when she said it. I said, that's what Brandy was saying and stuff was counterfeit.
That was a good catch.
So I'm like, okay. We can move on past that.
Point taken, right?
We'll find out in the record.
Right.
We'll find out what's going to happen here.
Just say it'll all come out in the wash. wash.
Yes, it will.
Come out in the wash, come out in the rinse.
Yes, honey. Because Carlos King said they supposed to be allegedly filming the reunion now.
That's what I heard too, is that it's supposed to be sometime this week.
So I'm like, okay.
Well, but you know what? I love Carlos sometimes gets on my last freaking nerve. Not that I don't think that he is connected with the housewives. I mean, of course he is, you know, but it's kind of like with all of this, you feel like you got inside information. Let me tell y'all right now, and I don't know, maybe y'all don't follow Andy, so maybe Carlos is your source of information when it comes to the housewives. But let me tell you, you gonna know when them housewives filming. You gonna know when they getting ready to film. Because Andy gonna ask, are there any questions? I ain't seen him say nothing.
Oh, okay.
I ain't seen him. Now, not that I didn't look out for it, but I generally, I never had to look out for it. You know what I mean? But I haven't seen, that's like, okay, we filming, we getting ready to film, because he'll usually do it ahead of time. And ask, you know, the people, do they have any questions? So, but that's what Carlos, according to Carlos, they are supposed to be filming that sometime this week.
Mm-hmm. So, where we at? Girl, I can't read my own damn writing.
It'd be that way.
Girl, yeah. So, okay. Well, Monique, so since it went left so quickly, and you know there were other people there, you know, Monique's family, she did not know that they had issues like that. So she had to reel it all back in because it was starting to go left. Angel was very upset. And you know, basically she ended it and let everybody know that her book was out. So Wendy is where I said, shut the fuck up. Was that saying that she should not take the shade. It's just shade. You just throwing around a little shade, you know. No big deal. Not like it was a big deal when your ass first got on there.
Was this going back to the comment about the catfish?
Yes, the catfish, eviction, all of that. You know, she said it's just shade. You should just, you know.
One thing I did agree with Ashley about, and I guess maybe this is the shady part of me too. Because, you know, I agree. I think Giselle may have said it. Maybe somebody else has said it. The best part about shade is kind of referencing something that's true. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And so what I'm going to say is, when you break down the elements of an eviction, you know, I think sometimes in your mind, most people probably, I guess, don't feel like maybe you ain't been evicted unless the people actually came in and had to move you out.
No.
Type of deal. Right. That's my point. It's kind of like, no, in the way that it's described, like, your lease ended, and Angel does know better while she's explaining it. You know
yes,
what I mean?
because an eviction is basically you've been put out.
Yeah, and I think that's what she said on the phone with her sister. She said, "Oh no," she said it to the lady. She said, "Our lease ended before it was expected," and I'm thinking,
"Girl, you was evicted."
That's called an eviction. Yeah, you know.
I'm like, where did she? Look, she explained that in a very mercurial way.
You know, like, okay, like if I sign a year lease, okay, and my lease ends, you know, before, even if the eviction is not due to me, right? You know what I'm saying? Like, because let's say this, maybe where I live, maybe the company just sold, and they said, y'all got to get the hell out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it better not be no fucking eviction on my damn record.
Well, I agree. Well, so there's two. But I'm saying, even if there's not an eviction that is listed on your credit, in terms of what an eviction is, that is an eviction. You know what I'm saying?
Your ChatGPT.
So I'm saying that's the meaning of the word. You know what? Like, now, if you want to kind of fiddle around, right, to find out, like, right, yeah, you didn't have to go to court. You didn't, you know what I mean? Like, okay, so technically, you ain't got no eviction listed on your credit, but Eviction, yeah, it was an eviction. They evicted your ass. You thought you had more time than they said. No, you don't.
Because the lease was up.
But she continues to tell us that she thought she had a lease for another date.
I think she's a bad liar.
She definitely is that. And she's not good at making up, because that's what I mean. Like, her very description was like,
and eviction, yeah, you got eviction. Because when she said it, I go, don't you?
Was used in its proper context. However, is it true? Maybe not. We'll never know, right?
Well,
the world may never know. How many licks does it take to get to the center of a nut?
Girl. But anyways, Angel lets Ashley know, don't call her no catfish no more. What did Giselle say about the catfish in Colorado?
So freaking late. But listen, I will agree with Wendy about it. Like to say, hey, all of it, if you know it's not, why are you giving so much to it? And yeah, Angel is late.
What we say? She is delayed. And I said delayed in something.
You did.
Now, delayed. Girl, I can't remember all damn lies.
Delayed and delusional. But no,
yeah.
I put that in.
Delayed in something, I said.
Damn, we gotta go back to that lie.
Girl, delayed in I meant to write it down. I just thought about it too earlier today.
Yeah, and it was good.
Yeah, but anyways, she's delayed.
She is late. She is the very definition of late.
Girl, she think about it too long, honey. She got to be quick with it.
And she has to learn how to let some stuff roll off for her. You know, like you are in a group. This is the name of the game. I'm not really sure, like going back to what I said last week, I'll say it for her and any other housewife that come after her. Getting on this show and feeling like you're going to change the dynamics of what's going on, like you in the wrong game, boo. This is a part of it, and it might be light shade, fun shade. It might be mean shade, shady shade.
Yeah.
But one thing, and I never knew. Maybe it was Robin that I didn't like, because I am really enjoying Giselle this season, and I really am. Right, more than I have any other season, to be honest. And just to listen, Giselle got the housewife game on lock.
Yeah.
Don't give a damn. Let these people, like what we say about the comments are for the commenters.
Yeah.
How, you know what I mean? Like, let these people do what they do. Let it be. Let it go. Let it be. Is that what the people say on the Frozen? You know what I'm talking about. Let it go, let it be.
Let it go, let it go.
Right. But that's
I used to hate that song.
Even when it go back to the binder. Like she said, who would have thought I ever would want to see a binder again?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And she's right, but here's the thing: she knows how to play the game, and that's the reason why she can walk around not showing her life, because she know how to play the game with these people. And listen, what did Shannon Sharp say? I love this quote, and I'm quoting it: "You can win any game as long as you know the rules. Yeah. That's all you need to do is know the rules to it. You can win, and that's what Giselle is doing.
She mastered it. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because she don't let it bother her.
Angel, take notes.
Yes.
If you want to be on somebody else's screen, because you are done over here in Potomac.
Girl.
I don't know if she see the writing on the wall, but it is.
I don't think she saw it yet. Yeah. She tried to get big and bad over there in Colorado, but here we go. So, we have a scene. So, of course, by this time, Angel is flown back to Colorado. So Stacy calls.
Now she is flown back.
Yeah, she's been flown. They said 12 hours.
Like
they showed the plane going. They said 12 hours later, girl, she gone. She gone. So anyways, they said Stacy calls Angel and she's preparing for the high altitude. So she wanted to know what did she need to do to prepare. And you know what? When we went to Denver, I ain't prepared nothing.
I didn't keep going because I thought Stacy was just. I thought somebody put her up to it. That felt produced. Like to try to get a conversation with Angel about what had just transpired, and Stacy was really the only one that could. But again, I ain't never been to Colorado, so I don't know if that's a thing or not.
Because when we did our family reunion there, nobody was told to drink a bunch of water.
Your family probably just said, honey, to each man, every man for themselves.
They didn't say nothing. We stayed down there on the across from the World Trade Center. There, nobody said anything, honey, and I didn't feel nothing. So I don't know what happened to Kay other than being drunk.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. They say the girl was crying tears.
Yes, she was.
She didn't even know. Look, the tears just coming out of her eyes. She like, what's wrong?
I said it's the medication that Giselle gave her to go along with it. Maybe it didn't mix well. So she's talking about, drinking plenty of water in advance, and then the phone cuts out. Bad connections there. So we're on to the trip, and I'm like, okay, we on the trip, and my thing is Miss Wendy. Where was Miss Wendy going?
Honey, as soon as she got in that car talking about, I look like I'm going to Sandro Payne. Here I go. So at least you know. Right? Yes. Pull up the photo. At least you know, right? I agree.
I said she was giving Marlo. I said she was giving Marlo.
For sure. But Marlo ain't gonna wear that in Colorado. Now, Marlo might be over the top in Colorado, but it won't be that.
I said, where is she going with this Mrs. Roper dress on?
Again, where are you going, girl? And who's there when you get there? But, it was a fail. I think Stacy got it right on her dress.
All of them was...
Now, let me just say this. I felt catfish when Angel showed up at that airport. Girl. Who the fuck is this girl?
Hello. Uh-oh.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, is my internet going out or something? Okay.
you're not going to talk a lot of sense to them. You know what I mean? So you just kind of exit stage left, and we'll revisit this.
Girl, why I been on here with no sound? Somebody just...
Are you kidding me?
Girl, I hope that just happened. How long have we been with no sound?
I know that I am muted.
I know, but I thought I was back on.
Oops. Okay, so we can hear now. Thank you so much.
Oh my God. Hopefully I just touched it and it muted.
Did it for a little while. I hope so too. You gonna find out when you go to cut this up.
I'm gonna have to do a whole new review on Real Housewives. Right.
You gonna find out when you go to cut this up, right? Okay.
Oh,
well, let's
shit.
move. What was we saying, honey?
Fuck, I don't know.
Well, let's get on to Simone and Cecil. So Simone meets with her sister. They seem like they meet for lunch. At the same time, we see Cecil meeting with his brother. We find out that his brother just moved back to Atlanta or to Atlanta. He is going through a divorce. And both of them are discussing the dinner that they had with their sons. And the way that whole dinner went, with Simone blowing up on everybody at the table. Simone pretty much expresses to her sister like that she doesn't feel like Cecil or the boys are considering her. She also felt like Cecil should speak up about the disrespectful way that Michael talks to her. And on the flip side, we see Cecil really kind of not understand. Well, he believes that they, I'm going to use the word they, i.e. maybe Simone, and I'm not even trying to, I don't want to presume who has more money, but he does believe that they should pay for Michael's law school. He used the analogy of him having to stand in line at Morehouse and get his financial aid. And he said he made a vow at that time that he didn't want his kids to have to do that, to have to stand in the financial aid line.
Girl,
I'm going to tell y'all what.
That sounds crazy.
I understood where Cecil was coming from as far as, being African American, wanting to have these aspirations of your children not having to go through the things that you've been through. I totally 100%, 1000% agree with that ideology. But I took, and maybe it's because my kids need financial aid, I don't know, but I took offense to his tone when it came to financial aid, simply because what I feel like I understand with Simone is Simone doesn't have a problem paying for it. She just wants to see this boy be a little more responsible, and maybe even have a little different tone in his voice when he's talking to his parents.
Exactly.
But I think that it most certainly is the responsibility portion of it. And even the entitlement portion. You go off and decide you're going to law school on somebody else's dime. That's very entitled. And is. You know what I mean? And this is a conversation that was just sprung on us. I'm not sure how long they've had this conversation, right? If Michael had been wanting to be a lawyer for years, like I'm not sure if him wanting to go to law school is this surprise. And so why the discussion is happening the way that it's happening now, you know what I'm saying about how it's being paid for. But I think she wants him to be more responsible for, his things. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I do think the opportunity for him to go to law school is already stepping, in the right direction in the sense of pushing your kids to do more, go further than where you were. But as far as like Cecil with the financial aid, I felt like that's the least he could do it. I don't know if you can get financial aid to go to law school, but if you could, I mean, and if he able to get it, what's the problem?
Exactly.
And ain't nobody standing in no 3-hour line today. Now, they might have to jump through some sort of hoop, but it ain't like it was, in the 80s or early 90s, when he was in college. So, I think for me, when it comes to us as a people, as a culture, and the way that we see things, I think sometimes we have to know when things are okay. I think financial aid is something that's okay.
Yes, because everybody gets some sort of financial aid, some kind of grant.
That's okay.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Now, listen, if you sitting on billions or something,
yeah,
maybe, right, yeah,
just write a check. Yes, but
at the same time, he is on person. He is on, you know what I mean? And there is going to come a time where, he's got to get a little bit of this real life situation, and learning how to pay for your own law school might be that.
Exactly.
Some appreciation for what it is you are doing, your goals, all of it. So that's kind of where I sat in the whole Cecil Simone having their separate conversations with their people. What about you?
Well, I like how the brother who was going through a divorce was letting Cecil know, hey, you and your wife, y'all have to be together. These kids gonna leave. And you got to show a united front there. So you cannot, he said, you keep saying I. Now, I love Cecil. Out of all the husbands, that's the one I like the best. You keep saying I. And maybe it was so much trauma for him being poor that he had to do all these things. But I know when my son got ready to go to school, and I know we had to shell out $10,000 each semester, and we was signing up for all the financial aid that he could get, and we still had to write a check for $10,000.
But that's what I'm saying. See, like even what you just named, that's the blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like the blessing would be that he doesn't have to go get loans. Like I get it, but to sit up and to have a deal about the financial aid portion, I'm gonna tell y'all, I'm gonna give y'all this story about my coworker. This is probably about 10 years ago now. And my kids they're not, of course, they're not the age they are now. They were still young, right? I think Sean was in high school, but he might have been like a sophomore. I'll say that. And so she came into work, she was distraught. And I'm, wanting to find out what's going on. So she was upset that her son had joined the army. And so she was like, she really didn't want him to join the army. And so I'm like, well, why? Why is he feeling like he wants to or whatever? And so she says, now listen, I feel like this is what a lot of people say when they decide to join the army. Where y'all on y'all way to? Pizza. Okay. Be careful. I'll look at you with your pants on. Good job. So she said, well, he said he's going to join the army because they'll help him pay for college.
Yeah, GI Bill.
So I said, okay, but here's my deal. Like, I don't have anything wrong with anybody joining the service. I was on my way to the service. Now, whether I was supposed to be there or not is a whole different question. However, what I was saying to her is like, do he know that he doesn't have to do that to go to school, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's not the way. But sometimes we do get so hell-bent on the no debt, all of these other factors, right? that have you making other choices.
Plus, he can't go to school to. Well, he not. He can't go to school after he finishes term.
Well, I'm glad that you mentioned that.
Unless he go in night school.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because that was part of the conversation too. And even though I never even got into the service, but I know a lot of people because I feel like even my high school, I feel like I just been around a lot of people that went to the service. And so I have an outlook about it, right? Mm-hmm. And so I said to her, I said, well, if he's going to go to service, I said, you probably should talk to him about giving him 20 years.
Yeah. That's easier said than done. Lord have mercy.
Yeah, right. Go ahead, give them like 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, because I think that the misconception is sometimes when you go do the 4, you might not have access to all of the things that they told you would. You know what I'm saying? Like in that time frame, and I think people get caught up in that. Even still, because that's not even the thing. The main thing was him feeling like he didn't have another option. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I was coming from with her. Is like, well, no, he does. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to do that. You know,
where was his counselors at?
Yeah, and so anyway, so the whole point in that is like we get so caught up in like what it means to have, like a handout. Baby, if they got the handout and you able to get it, you better get your ass in line and get the goddamn handout. The hell? And like I told her, when it comes to loans, so the most thing you should be worried about is the loans. But like I told her, I said, I ain't never gonna let my kids feel like debt is something that's gonna keep them from furthering their education. I wouldn't give a damn how much debt you rack up. Get that motherfucking education. If they gonna give it to you and you able to go get it.
Yes, I know my mother. My mother, she was so concerned about debt. She did hers, but she didn't. She graduated and didn't owe anyone, but she did it as a hobby.
If you're able to do that, hats off to you. Yeah. But all I'm saying is,
there's
like,
other,
and I told my own boys this at this moment because today they are all grown.
Yeah.
And like I said to them, listen, you're gonna be in debt in your life for something.
You're gonna die on the bill.
So I don't like. It's just a matter of in your mind, coming to terms about what that something is going to be. You know what I'm saying? So I have no problem with you getting into debt for your education, baby. You better go take it all and especially for us, there was a time when it wasn't even possible.
And they about to make it that way again. Check your student loans out right now, because on the 7th tomorrow. They're supposed to be sending out letters about garnishing people's wages. So if you're in default, check it out.
Lord, no, I'm not in default.
I'm telling you, all the people out there, check out your student loan.
Speaking of, I better make sure, honey. They might not be sending my damn emails.
I'm like, oh, y'all better check it. That's because
let me make sure. But my point in all of this whole long-winded story really is just to say you gotta know the advantages where they are.
Yeah.
And you go ahead and take advantage of what they are. You know what I mean? Because the thing about financial aid is it's not just here for some, it's here for all, as long as you meet whatever their qualification is. So that's what I mean. At the very least, if he get financial aid, let the boy get financial aid.
Exactly.
Y'all can come in and pick up you know what I'm saying, on the back end.
Exactly.
Or, like Simone told him, and again, let's go back to the responsibility portion. I believe Simone did say to him, I'm the only person with a postgraduate degree, and I got scholarship, I got grants, I got these things, which means she's looking for him to find a way to fund his education. Not just coming and looking at her like she's the Bank of America,
girl,
or Bank of Michael.
Because Michael could have had his education about paid for if he wouldn't have spent that $60,000 on nothing he can remember.
That you know what I'm saying? Like, great point.
I wish I can go and swipe a motherfucking card.
Why we understand, or why I understand Simone's frustration in that moment in this whole ordeal. But again, where Cecil is coming from is admirable, but it's kind of like, it's that thing, and I think that's the thing we go through with kids. I'm going to use my kids as that example too, because and that's why I know I tell people all the time, and I'm never going, I tell my own kids, I know I am living an answered prayer. Not that everything is perfect, not that I can't do some more. I mean, like, honey, I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. However, I was able to get all of my kids, not just through high school, but I was able to make sure they were prepared to go to college, because that was the plan I at least had for them, right? And with that, and not that I could pay for it. What I knew I could help them do is, when it came to loans, it was, listen, we're going to teach you how to take the loans out responsibly, right? Like, because you can get caught up. Like, that's what we all are afraid of, is you might get caught up in what it is they telling you can have. Same like credit card debt, anything, you know what I mean? And so it's like, no, you did, like, we do it, we're going to do it smart. You know what I'm saying? Now, all three of the boys, they started, and they dropped on off, and here's the deal. They at the point they can make those type of decisions, and I just have to let it be, but I ain't never gonna waste an opportunity, especially as life start hitting their ass in the face, like, to let them know, like, this is what I was talking about. I was talking about trying to give you something that gave you an edge, a step up in the game. So what I mean, the disadvantage is, like, even me and their dad, unfortunately have not finished my college degree. Baby, I am probably one semester, technically, maybe even a whole year, maybe 2 semesters from having my bachelor's degree. Mm-hmm. But let me tell y'all something that I'm just going to admit. I ran out of financial aid. I can't even go back to school if I wanted to. Not on their dime. I'm going to have to put it on my dime. And listen, rightfully so, because who knew there was a limit to financial aid? I
do. Well, you know one thing too, though. Sometimes college is not for everyone,
Girl, and hush your mouth.
Because all these people who went, like I would say, just dealing with my family, seems like the ones who didn't go, they doing better than all of us. When I say doing better, I mean they found their niche, and they is making all the money.
I feel like that is just life.
Yeah, so.
But I don't think, I hear where you coming from, but I'm going to tell you, that sentence you said, that college ain't for everyone, I hate that.
But
the only reason why I do, because I get where you coming from, but I feel like I don't like that term or that particular stance, because I feel like more people use that as an excuse than not. And let me tell you, like I told them, if your ass was able to go to school from kindergarten all the way to your senior year, college is for everybody.
Well, but what is...
let me tell you what college do. I had to tell my nephew. My nephew came for the holiday. He is out in Bloomington. He's at IU. And he came for the holiday, and we were talking, and he was just asking questions a little bit. And so I just kind of told him, like, listen, the thing about college is it's not teaching you how to go get a job. It's not teaching you, unless you do something that is very specific, like law or like medical. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like something very, very specific in a skill set or something. But what it is about what you're able to focus and sit down and do. It's the same thing like a drug test with companies. These companies do not give a damn if you are on drugs. Like, they don't care. Because listen, when you fail a drug test, do they turn around and try to send you to somebody's rehab or try to figure out why you on drugs? No. What they want to know is, are you a willing participant to break the law? So are you going to steal from me? Are you going to do the thing? Are you going to do, like, blatantly do things that are against whatever the rules in the company is? So when it comes to college, I think a lot of what you're doing and going through is more so about having a discipline.
Yes. But to come out,
it takes discipline to be successful.
Yeah. But I mean, some people, what I'm saying is, when they go through, if you're not in a specialized doctor, or if you just going, I'm going to be a teacher, I'm going to be whatever in the arts, you ain't making no damn money, point blank period. And then you're going to get $60,000-$70,000 in debt. And that person maybe decided, okay, maybe I don't want to be that. Maybe I might be an electrician. I can go to a trade school for that and make a hell of a lot more money than the person who is a teacher.
We talked about that. I love that you mentioned that, because we talked about that, right? Because he was talking to me about kind of wanting to look into something that was more electrician, like you said, plumbing based. But this is what I want him to know. I don't give a damn what you do. If you going into somebody's company and you got a 4-year degree on your back and that other person don't,
that don't mean shit.
Understand,
it don't mean stuff.
It
don't. Because sometimes if you're not the color that they want, that's why they say and experience.
So that's another type of, from like when you said the color, that's a whole nother aspect. But what I am saying ultimately is
hopefully,
more times than not.
I don't think so.
Because I think that having a degree will open doors that not having one won't.
Well,
and that's just it. So
because most times if you're got a degree, you're going to just be a worker.
About going up into like management areas and doing other things. I'm only using that from my own field. I'm not like, I don't know anything about plumbing and electrician. But
those are entrepreneurs. No, versus your degree trains you to go work for someone.
Unless you work for the light company or the gas company. So to your point, if you're going to work for a company, because like I've told my kids the same thing. If you don't want to go to school, and you do want to change your financial place where you are, like, you know what I'm saying, where you're able to be, then you have to create the job. You have to become an entrepreneur. And so, but that's a whole different mindset also, you know. So my point really is, if you're going to work for a company, so once you got your degree, you got your electrician stuff, you go sit that you might not ever end up doing, or maybe you do it for a little while, you know, like where you actually doing actual work. But this is how you get yourself into a corporate space, into the offices. And like I said, I'm only using my particular job or my field with billing and coding as the example, because you can get into billing and coding without a degree. Mm-hmm. And even though they have certain specified degrees, but that shit has all gone out the window. Right now, you could go and look for jobs in my field, and they just want a 4-year degree. It could be in philosophy. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta have shit to do with it. The reason why is because, and funny enough, you'll probably get the job before somebody who's had the 20 years experience without the degree. Is it fair?
They'll get the job because they're going to pay them lower than they're going to pay the person who's been in there 20 years.
No.
Because the person that comes in, they don't even know the job. The person who been on it 20 years, they're trainable. They know what their worth is.
What I'm gonna say is they probably are going to pay lower for whatever that median is, like whatever that position is, and whatever whatever it's supposed to pay. They're going to pay you probably like you said, if they don't have no experience or whatever, they're probably gonna pay you lower than what that is for sure. But what I am gonna say is I very highly doubt that if somebody's sitting in the pushing paper, part that's gonna be making more money than you. Now I doubt that.
No, I'm not saying that.
It's set up.
But I'm just saying for a person to come in with a philosophy degree to do a coding job. So everything
that you have to do is have
I'm not saying. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is that's my point about what. Good night, honey. Thank you so much. That's my point about the degree, though, because like you saying, you could go get the skill set right from somewhere else, but now with this degree. The degree tells you not necessarily what your knowledge is, but it tells you what you're able to do. And listen, I'm not saying that it's all right, especially now today when everybody can get through school with ChatGPT, probably. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that it's all right, but I am saying these are the processes that are set up. Like, in order to be able to scan, like we're talking about how the world really works.
Yes, but it works.
You know what I'm saying? And the way that
how it should work.
You get ahead.
And
the way that you give yourself a leg up. So I agree that that college work may not be something that everybody is cut out for, but you're gonna take your tail to work for. You're gonna take your tail to school for something. What is this? Oh, that's the music.
Oh, I'm like, what?
Right. Okay. I think it's my. Wait.
Is it an alarm? Sound like money. Is this on TikTok?
Yes, it is. I'm trying to see why. But anyhow, we are gonna move on because listen, she paying for that law school and we already heard it. I don't know why this is. I thought it was because my do not disturb came on. And my sleep time. I got a sleep time set up over there, but it on live, like.
I said, you gotta go to bed, honey.
Okay, right.
They said screen time is over with, honey.
Like, that's what I'm like trying to figure out. How can I get it to stop? We might just have to live. I'm gonna just turn this down just a little bit. F it until I can figure it out. Anyway, but I mean, we can actually do a little, like have us a different type of live, and we can really kind of go back, discuss that a little more.
Okay.
But I do think that's the difference in what we are talking about as far as where Cecil stands and where Simone stands. And I just thought Cecil was being a little closed-minded about it. And not really understanding, that his son does need to take some responsibility for the things that he do want to have in his life. Because, that's what I was saying. Because one thing about it, you might not have to go to no 4-year, collegiate type of experience, but you're going to sit your ass in somebody's classroom to get something that's going to take you from the people that's working at the Walmart to the people that's doing, something a little bit different and able to make a little bit more money. And there is nothing wrong with plumbers, trash men, firefighters. You know what I'm saying? There are all types of jobs that don't require you to go to a degree. This is the reason why I started to know. I didn't realize that if you went to college, got your degree, and then went to the service,
you come in
straight in as an officer.
Yeah, you become an officer. Yes, that's the difference.
Straight in.
Yeah, so there'll be lieutenants, first and second lieutenant.
That's why because when you think about that, you think other companies don't do the same fucking thing. They're going to reward people. Now, again, that ain't saying you just go do it for that. But what I am
But a lot of people do that.
Don't ever think that you not having that is not going to take you into a different. And if it's not, I'm going to tell you the reason why. You're not being open-minded enough. You might still be, focused in on what it is you think you were supposed to be doing with whatever it is you got. But once you go ahead, open it up, and I agree, teachers don't make a damn thing. So, it's some stuff that is set up that way. So if you're a teacher, nurses make pretty good money, but same deal with them. If you're a teacher, if you're a nurse, if you're anything in a service industry, you got to be in a mindset and in a position, a posture to service. And that means, right?
You better become a traveling nurse. They make really good money.
What you say?
Become a traveling nurse. They make very good money.
Who do?
Traveling nurses.
Oh, well, yeah, traveling nurses for sure. But, nurses, like I say, nurses, but a lot of their time is gone. There's a drawback to it all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But all I'm saying at the end of the day is you for sure can get a little bit further in the door. Now, again, it might depend on what doors you want to walk through. It ain't never a waste of time to get that degree. That's it. Now, maybe and I feel like even if you go, the people in Mary Kay, the highest people pay in Mary Kay, they're sitting back with fucking degrees. Why? Because they took classes about everything that you need to know how to do in Mary Kay. Some people get it natural, some people don't. Let's move on to the next one. Quad and King. Okay. So, we meet with Quad and King, honey. Quad and King, they are discussing their fertility journey. They're packing up, getting ready to go to Ghana to do another egg retrieval. King is feeling like, King seems like he's a little bit frustrated with the process. He felt like they was only going to go once. That's not the case. Quad is wanting him to be a little more patient, a little more understanding. Listen, I thought it was odd that Quad is in this place today, that she really wants this baby so bad. I want to be understanding about it in the sense of from woman to woman, and then just understand, the way that life transitions, right? You could not want something one and then be here next. But then again, I also look at Quad and I'm just thinking, like, is this desperation? Like, do you feel like you have to lock this guy down with this baby? Because it still go back to what I was saying, I think last week or the week before. I don't know why you're not that concerned about y'all actually, like, committing to each other. Like, truly, with a marriage, with something that is more sustainable than a baby. But King looks like he is already checked out. And let me tell y'all, I think the man has. What you think?
It seems like he's checking out. I think the desperation for her, as she's seeing that clock winding down on her being, her journey to have a baby. So I feel like at this rate, and from the things he's saying, like he called her a big bag, was it the last episode? And I go, what? Is he talking about her booty or are you talking about her back being wide? Come on now. Because I don't know how to take that. So I was like, the way he's coming across on scene, he's coming across kind of like Dr. G to me. Dr. G light. And she does seem desperate. I think if I wanted to have a baby that bad, I think I just would have my eggs retrieved and have me a sperm donor. Yes, I mean, because ultimately she wants a baby. He has a kid already. I don't know, so his heir is gonna go on or whatever, as long as that little girl is able to have children. But she's looking at her clock is winding down.
He has a kid who he's not with that kid's mother also. I always think about that. I think about...
Now, I'm just talking about procreating. His name, his legacy is still... Right. So in Quad looking at, okay, if I don't make nothing, that's the end of me. So there's no legacy. There's no...
I got you, yeah.
So I think that is her desperation. She wants a legacy left behind.
That's funny. Just real quick, because my kids have their dad's last name, but it wasn't until I got older that I really thought about it, and I said, I wish they had my name, like, and not his. And not for nothing, they deserve mine, because I wasn't married to their daddy. So let me put this little nugget out there. You do have some kids out of wedlock, you give them your name. Like, because he ain't did a goddamn thing for these kids to have his name, okay? But I get that.
Yeah, so.
I just, maybe this is my trust factor, but he has a kid that he's not with that mom. And like I said, and I do understand the appeal, because that doesn't mean that he's not able to show up for her in whatever way she needs him to. So I can imagine that seeing him in his dad mode, and you already attracted to him, I can imagine that makes it much more attractive. And I see her in this way of desperation. And I'm not sure if it is because it's her age
I think it is. Shit. And she was 10 years young.
Keep that man around.
Girl, please. Ain't no baby gonna keep no man.
I mean, well, we know that.
I'm pretty sure she should know it. She should. She old enough to know that.
Well, then I think she should have had the baby with Dr. G then.
I don't think she probably liked this. At that time, she went in the space she's in. She was much younger. So I can have me a baby anytime. He was the one who was wanting the baby so bad. And look where he's at. So, yeah. It sucks for them.
I think that's some okay.
Yeah.
Listen, like I tell people all the time, I try not to be too judgmental about it, because I don't know what that feels like. And it's disappointing, like, I don't know, it's disappointing. But I also, as a single mom, I don't know that I'm ever going to, and I really don't care how much money you have, because it's not all about the money. It's about you mentally, like everything that goes along with it. And those are the things that people don't talk about.
Yeah, but I think she just wants to
see. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think she wants to experience motherhood for herself.
And that's okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, Yeah, I ain't necessarily sure that I think you should. I don't know. I don't know.
Girl, she 40 plus. Girl, I had my baby at 20, so shit.
I mean, that's what I mean. Like, but I'm just coming from a person who did raise their child, their children primarily by herself. And I'm saying those are the things people don't talk about, though. You know what I mean? Like that there are really hard parts to being a mother, and it's not all roses and rainbows. Of
course it isn't. I said, of course it isn't, but
yeah.
I think she wants to experience that for herself.
Well, right. And so more power to her. So we're going to wish Quad all the luck. I don't know why she got to go all the way to Ghana, but...
Because somebody had triplets.
She ain't worried about retrieving no eggs on this trip, however, because her, Yandy, and Angel are out there, honey, kicking it. At least that's what it looked like to me.
That's what it looked like, too. Having a good damn time.
Do you think her and King still together?
Don't look like it.
It don't look like it to me either. Okay, I was just wondering. Don't look like it to me either. Nah. All right, let's move on. So now we at the first party. Toya and Simone, they meet up, waiting on everybody to arrive for this purse party. They're gonna make some purses. Toya done brought this fake ass Balenciaga bag for Heavenly because Heavenly forgot it at her house, right? We see Mimi and Heavenly riding together to the event in their car. And so both of them simultaneously discuss the group chat about Father's Day. Okay. Toya sends a message into their group chat, telling them how blessed she is for her husband, her boys, and life is great, and want to encourage everybody to tell everybody, or I think she was just sending a happy Father's Day to everybody else's husbands and partners. And so Heavenly decided to respond back, and it was like, make sure you tell Eugene that and on camera. As I said it right now, I said it way more shady, but I'm gonna be honest, I really don't think she was being shady. I think she was giving her some advice, certainly. I just don't think Heavenly has that much tact. So, and listen, sometimes I ain't got that much tact. Sometimes the message just gotta get out. Toya is focused on Heavenly's lack of labels. Of course, we got to take the Balenciaga bag, which I'm like, that's such low-hanging fruit for me with Toya. I really wish she would get off of that, though. Because for me, it's not landing the way I think she wants it to land. And it's two reasons. The very first one is we all too grown for that shit. Like, what?
No, I thought it was awful funny how she was saying we don't think of Heavenly with those labels, but yet you think the nurse that's there, what's the name? Brandy Angel. Angel.
Oh, that's the MP. You talking about that one?
Nah, no, the other one, the other nurse.
Angel, okay, because she's an RN. Okay.
Yeah, the registered nurse should be able to. She knows she got the bags, but somehow Dr. Heavenly, when she carries whatever, we know they fake. And I thought, oh my God, so we talking to the registered nurse. I wanted to know who the registered nurse got babies by, because
well, she got one by a basketball player. I don't know his name, and I don't remember no team that he played for, because Angel was actually a part of Basketball Wives some years ago. Mm-hmm. Like back when Bambi kind of came on, there was this moment where they had a very young group. So Angel was a part of that. And again, I don't remember her the name.
It must not have been memorable.
Well, listen, look, Malaysia's husband, and I watched the Bulls faithfully. But here I go, I didn't know who that man was. I was like, who the hell is Virgo?
So I'm just saying, like, okay.
So
with that,
I feel like you just made the point, though. Juvenile.
Yes.
Yeah, juvenile.
Especially when you know this person can afford it if they really want to.
And that's where I'm having a lot of disconnect also, because I'm thinking if she wanted it, I think she could go get it. And I ain't mad at her for having that same fucking Amazon bag we all got, right?
She got the dupe. She got the dupe. Well, I was listening to her Carlos King, and she said that, you know, it's mighty funny. She says 9 women on the show. She said the show, now I think she got her time mixed up, but either way, she said they only filmed for 12 weeks. Either she came in and only filmed 8 weeks, or she came in 8 weeks later. Something like that. She said, but it's mighty funny. I'm the friend of. But all y'all got to talk about is me and this fake ass bag, whether it's fake or not.
I think I said that earlier.
She said,
clock it. I didn't even know that she said that,
yes.
But I said the same thing. I'm like, Heavenly was supposed to have an easy season, really, as a friend of, and Heavenly not even giving y'all the business at all. Because she's a friend of. I don't blame her for not working too hard. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But yet, Toya, you on her ass, honey. You done gave up main character energy.
Exactly. And I got to thinking about that. I said, what if Heavenly do win for real? Maybe Toya is very mad because she got to pay for this house. And if Heavenly leaves, what's to become of Married in Medicine?
Well, because talking about them labels and that closet and them bags, baby, that's not it. Even the girls on Beverly Hills don't do that. And I'm mentioning that because where you at, Toya? What world are you living in that the people that are watching, that's what they are looking for? Like, we already assume you can. You know what I mean? And here's the other part. And then the point about fake, making it like fake bag. Like, here's the deal. I don't think a lot of us even fucking care. Y'all making buku money. No doubt in my mind she could have a Balenciaga bag if she wanted to.
Yeah, right.
No doubt in my mind.
Yes, because
I'm not even questioning that.
Yeah, while she was riding in that Maybach there, Dr. Heavenly.
Yeah, again, right. Nobody's questioning
yeah.
it. And so I'm like, Dr. Heavenly, that the only deal with Dr. Heavenly is she just have a nasty way of coming back. But like she said, well, I got a portfolio. I got multiple businesses. I got multiple. And listen, what you gonna say? What? Because that's cash money. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's cash money.
So I got multiple homes, honey.
Toya might need a finance class.
Because she spend money like she's poor.
She spend money like she's poor, and she does not have a good idea of value.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't know what's valuable and what's not. You know what I mean? It's like somebody who go get a car you know what I mean? Like, and here's the thing. Maybe you're a car person. Like, I get people have their vices. Same with her and these bags. Like,
my little brother.
These bags are your vices. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's your thing. But that's, again, if that's your thing, let that be your thing. How are you coming? I never asked nobody if what they had was real or fake. First of all, you don't need to, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you can kind of add it up. The second thing is, it ain't my business.
No.
It ain't my business. I wish somebody would come and try to tell me about something I got, if it's real or fake. You gotta get out of my face.
Exactly. Especially when you're...
What I did do in the Bahamas, y'all, so we went to the Bahamas. And we got off, they always sell, they got all this stuff, and they selling stuff. And this is over 10 years ago, so I don't know what it looked like today, but I'm I'm sure it's still people selling stuff.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love Tiffany's. Okay, now listen, not that I can always have it, but I'm just saying, like I window shop on Tiffany's very often. I have a wish list of little things, little trinkets that I like and want. With that being said, we get off, there's the people selling their stuff. Yeah. And so he got Tiffany's bracelet or something. And so I was thinking like, oh, let me see. So I said, well, pull out the scale. You know, so he had a scale. Like, funny enough, he had a scale. And so I told him to set the bracelet on the scale because, of course, he's telling me, it's real. And so I'm like, well, put it on the scale. And so he put it on the scale. And then I took my necklace off or bracelet. I think I had the bracelet at the time, but I set it on the scale. Because, of course, I know mine is real. You know what I mean? And so, like I told him, I said, no, the weight don't match. You know what I mean? So I'm telling him, like, you got to come down on the price. You know what I mean? Either way, you know, like, all I'm saying is, you too far in somebody's business to be clocking them about something that's fake. Now, the only way I can even give you permission to go there is if they if Heavenly walked around the way she does, then I think it would be more appropriate to call her out about it.
Yeah, because Heavenly don't even care.
Right.
Her whole wig fell off.
It's kind of like I said, that Amazon bag, it's on Amazon. You could probably still go get it on Amazon. If mine wasn't packed out, I'll pull mine out with the little B. And I ain't get it because, I want somebody to think it's been some Balenciaga. Look, if somebody see it from afar and they think that's what it is, then okay. I got it because it's got a B on it. Like, in my name, Brandy. Like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, let me get the bag. Let me get that. And it is a dude. Right. Let me get that. Mm-hmm. But anybody who know me, like, I ain't walking around with no Balenciaga bag. And if I did, like, some man had to buy it for me, and you gonna know anyway. Like, oh, girl, he got me a, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. Like, like, I don't know. At this age, it's all feeling very juvenile. It's very anti-housewife. You know what I mean? This is kind of Zeus level shade. That's exactly where this shit belongs. Right on Zeus. I can imagine the girls in the house fighting over whose purse, is real and not real. Yeah. But this right here, Toya, I'm gonna need you to let it go. Yes.
She did kind of let it go when Dr. Heavenly said, I got business, I got a portfolio, I got many homes. Cat kind of had her tongue for a minute, because Dr. Heavenly said, shoot, my husband hired your husband before.
Because you got two boys, honey. What you passing down to them? A bunch of handbags?
Girl.
You see when we talk, you see when, like, sometimes what the importance is, we talk, like, we want legacy. You know what I mean? We want some generational wealth. Uh-huh. The things you go spend your money on, them kids ain't gonna have a motherfucking dime when y'all out of here.
Because remember last season when Dr. Heavenly had the thing for her son, it was at her son's house she bought. And remember that boat, that was his boat that she bought. It came with the house.
Yes, like that, right? Yeah, I ain't got nothing to say, right? Yeah. That's exactly what we're talking about, the difference.
Yeah.
And how low budget and low scale, like your mind is. You get, and I guess it's a good example of how you can be in a room that have the qualifications to be in rooms, but your mind ain't there.
No, her mind back in Detroit.
Because you can't have the same conversations with the people Heavenly having conversations with.
No.
And I'm just move on.
No, ma'am, she can't. That's sad.
Yeah, and it's sad to not have a desire to want to be there. You know, like you literally, like even with the story, like they said, they're the first ones to make it out of their families. Don't you want that to continue?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like you should be in some type of conversation with somebody? Especially in the space that you're in right now?
Yeah.
With somebody. And it's not to say, yeah, they probably got 401k, they probably got some investments in somewhere, but that's about all for that I think, you know. But anyway, contestant shows up out of place as usual.
Girl, she said she thought it was sexy night.
She thought it was an audition for Dream Girls.
Yeah.
Like, cause where are you going, girl? Go pick up Wendy. Y'all go where y'all going together.
Girl. We got Lola Falana and Mrs. Roper, honey.
She also outed her husband for selling fake bags.
Girl.
That happened. Scott paid his way through med school selling fake handbags. Here I go. That's the moment Simone decided Michael didn't need to pay for college. It was because Scott is over here selling fake handbags, or you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. Like, we don't want you to go down that same road.
Yeah.
Anyway, the guys meet over at Scott's house, like while the girls are doing their thing. Eugene ends up talking to Scott about the building. He lets them know, you know, officially and for sure that they're not taking it. And then they get into the issues about their wives. So look, I thought that Damon was really kind of skating around what Eugene was wanting to say to him about basically it's your wife that really take it, you know, to another level. I do agree with Eugene. I don't know how y'all went from talking about a bag to, you know, like your husband penis small. Like, I don't know why that's okay for them to discuss and go back and throw them jabs at her. Damon is Damon. Like, that Heavenly can't do no wrong, and he ain't going against Heavenly. And it felt like he was about to tell Eugene, like, that's your problem, or I don't know, man, you're going to have to figure it out. But Curtis seemed to step in and was able to really, like, just express, I guess, the feeling overall between what is discussed with the husbands and wives, right? And why there is not anybody else that kind of, I guess, steps in and says anything about what's being discussed. I did want to say this too. That's when Eugene expressed, like he told them, like, it hurts my feelings, you know, like that my friends would discuss me this way, you know. Did you ever watch The Best Man, those final chapters on Peacock?
No.
Well, there was a scene, so, you know, of course it's after the movies. And part of the storyline was that Unfinished Business was going to be made a movie. It was being made a movie. It all happened, the trailer came out, and Merch ended up getting mad with the guys because he was able to see on film, like, them making fun, them, you know what I mean? Them diminishing his man. That's when.
Is that the one that was married to the stripper? Is that the one that was? Is that the
exactly? Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so, right, so he was able to kind of have this moment of seeing that on screen, And like he said to them in the scene, he was like, it's one thing for other people, like to have whatever they say, whatever they feel. But it's another thing for the people that I call friends, that I love and I respect, for them to kind of have those same thoughts and same jokes,
I didn't take it that way. I took it as, I felt like he was taking it wrong, whereas they were talking about the issue how Toya talks to him, is what I assumed that Curtis was saying, and that how Toya, she comes at other people and then they throw a bomb at her ass, and then she can't help it.
Well, I agree. That's why I think Eugene is able to come in and really kind of, because I feel like that's what he was trying to say to Damon. Because what he wanted Damon to understand, and I do think there was some, I guess some type of truth to it, is like, well, if you won't tell me that or if you won't step up and say, then what we say, not saying anything is like compliance. You know what I mean? Like, so it seems like you have an agreement with what is happening, what's taking place, because you're not speaking up against it.
And Eugene don't speak up against what Toya do.
Well, no, I'm not saying,
like, but I'm just saying,
right or not. But I am saying that I felt for him in a sense of where he was coming from and having to express himself to those men. You know what I mean? Like, and I think that men that don't show up in this aggressive way just really get a bad rap.
Yeah, well, I think, as far as Damon is concerned, from what Dr. Heavenly says, he don't watch the show and he ain't on social media. So she said, so he ain't got, other than what she said about Dr. G, then Dr. G called him, and that's when she had took her stuff to, try to do it on Patreon. But I feel like if it all comes back to Toya. She put that shit out there.
Now I do agree with that.
She put it out there.
I do agree.
So you can't come at me.
Yeah, I do agree.
You want to talk about my fake ass purse? Put me on blast? I don't know how I might retaliate. I'm for real.
I mean,
because she could have left my purse there. Because why did she take the purse with her in the first place?
I feel like it was so much going on that she just forgot it.
No, I mean, but why did Toya take it from the event that Brandy had? Seems like Dr. Jackie should have got it or something,
Well, yeah. Right. It was probably more than likely to be Shady.
Yeah.
But again, that's what I mean. Just going back to that with Toya, it's very immature. It's very high school. It's very like, girl, what are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like, girl, is your hip okay? Cause we at the age where.
Cause she 2 shakes from 50. I think she 49.
Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, have you checked your blood pressure lately? You know what I'm saying?
She might need some blood pressure medicine. That's why she keep going off.
Maybe.
Yes, that could be it.
I think it's very juvenile. I'm not really sure. Even when she, the clips I saw, that interview she did, I don't even know if I've seen another housewife talk as much about that, the labels, this, the that.
Because she's not really the fashion girl. I mean, to me, she don't never look, just like, oh.
I mean, I agree with you. She looked pretty regular to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like, hell, I don't know how much you paid for that Chanel tank top, but baby, you could have left that shit in the store.
Exactly. To me, the way she match up her clothes, it don't look like it's, so elegant. It just give you round the way girl.
You called it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I can't see.
Agree.
It's
very. Oh, what we call it, hood rich.
Yeah, I got a hood rich jogging suit.
That is, it's hood rich.
Yes.
Hey Siri, play Cash Money. What's that?
The booze with the pimped out Gucci suit. Hey, ain't got no car, but I stay sharp. Hey, that was my jam. He said, got a quarter, take a gas. That's my money. But I said, okay, cause I'm still fly. He said, I got a quarter, take a gas, and my note be passed.
That's it. Oh my God.
It's hood rich. Yes, honey.
Do they know Toya?
Oh, Lordy.
They literally wrote that song about Toya. As soon as they got out of tax debt, they went and bought another house.
Girl.
And they still not focused on purchasing one. You know, like you focus on the fact that you have the possibility of a deed, but not realizing it takes you 30 years to pay one off, girl. So when the hell are you gonna get somewhere and stay in it?
Yeah, I don't think that's the plan.
It's not hood rich.
Mm-hmm.
That is that the name of the song? Is it? Well, listen.
I don't know.
It down so I won't forget. Cause we gonna do us a Housewives award show for the season.
Okay. Now I gotta catch up. Hey, did you watch the documentary on Mary Cosby?
I did.
I watched it.
Do you want to do a review on that? Look at me.
I thought it was pretty good too. You know, because I'm a church girl.
But you know, the funniest thing for me is it felt like it explained why I stopped watching them. Because they've been on this season. I haven't watched one episode at all.
I've never watched them.
I watched probably only half of last season, but I haven't watched any of this season. And I believe last season is the season Mary came back, or it might have been the season before. But I wouldn't in my mad. I wouldn't turn it that way. But it was a part in that first documentary. It was like, well, at first it was this scrutiny. Like they called it right, and then all of a sudden she came back and ain't nobody saying shit. I'm like, oh, okay, so we just not talking about the church and the husband no more, huh?
See, I have to watch. I never watched it. Never.
And that girl, like she said, Whitney, that lady did. That was the first season, either the first or the second season. But Whitney was one of the girls. She went to the church, and that's what she came out like, something ain't right, you know.
Was that is Wendy, was she white or black?
White.
Okay, you know it's Pentecostal. They do all that shouting and running around in there too, though. So.
Well, yeah, right, yeah.
So they're not accustomed to that.
Funny you say that because I think in the season that's what we all really saw, and because Whitney's dad, I think is like I don't know, he was on drugs or he's an addict or something, and a lot of how why she was there was to kind of help him. Like she had brought him in, and it was just kind of like to try to help him. But and then say married to the step granddad, it was a lot.
Girl.
It was a lot.
I enjoyed the second episode, the beginning of it, when he talked about her grandma. Because her grandma reminded me of my grandmother. I said, look at this. That church started in Indianapolis.
That was interesting information because I had no idea about that either.
You know, Jim Jones' church started down there too, so. And they took it to California.
With the Kool-Aid, right?
Yes, honey. But my grandmother, she was
I'm so hood. When you say Jim Jones, I think
ballin'. We fly high.
I have to remember, like, oh, that's the one who had the people drinking the Kool-Aid, right? I could, not for nothing, but I could see how he can get these people down here to drink Kool-Aid.
Girl, Trump got them doing it.
You heard what I said. I can see how he can get them to do it, honey. Dang, and now I can't even find my little card. I had like at least 2 categories because I figured we could do like 5 categories for each season. Well, not going back to like the beginning of the season. I'm talking about like we can like for the end after we go through the review and reunion, we could be like have the Housewives Awards for Potomac. We can have the Housewives Awards for Married to Medicine, and I had like 5 categories. One was like the most disappointing housewife.
Angel. Angel and Shamia.
One was for like, dang, I wrote it down. You see how the devil do you? Because I literally wrote it down so that I could come back to it. And now you mean to tell me I can't find it?
Well, so the most disappointing. Who would you have in that category? We got Shamia and Angel. Who else?
I mean, we really could list. It could be Ashley. It could be because I figured we can do at least four, and I feel like it's got to be from
their own
cats.
Okay.
Yeah, and we can offer it as a poll.
Mm-hmm.
Right, to see get us some people to vote on it.
Okay, maybe in the group.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, vote on it. And that way, and then once we'll do it for maybe a week or something like that, then we advertise our live and we go ahead and announce what the winners are or whatever, and maybe even our choices. I think something like that. But
okay,
what you think?
That'd be something cool.
I listen, and that's after I only had 2 things wrote on the damn thing, but I'd be damned if I can't find the goddamn card. That's crazy. I've been sitting here all day in this same freaking place.
Girl, I'm still trying to remember the name I called Angel. Girl. And I wrote it down on the paper. I think I threw it out of the way.
Well, here, that's funny you say that. Look, because here I go. That's the reason why I wrote this down, too. Because sometimes, shit, I'm getting old, honey. And damn it, I got to remember. But, yep, I did. Damn, I can't believe I can't find that. That's crazy. Did Prince Michael Jackson, did you get to it and eat it? Is that what happened? Well, I'll come back to it and make sure we got it. And so we can get it up, because maybe we can put those things out sooner, to give it more time. But you know what I'm saying? Or even if we have to repost or something, we'll come up with. I'll come up with it. I'll come up and do something on Canva, or ChatGPT to get us something nice, interactive.
Wow.
But listen, that's the end for me with Married to Medicine. Let me make sure. Do I got another little note down here? Oh, all I was gonna say about the whole text thread though is I really think that Heavenly was caught off guard because that's their private text.
Yeah, she said she didn't think they would use that.
She would bring it up on camera, which also made Toya look a little thirsty, like she is trying to throw some sort of monkey wrench in Heavenly's run, because it feels like she's trying to poke her to be something that she can kind of run with and and diminish her character.
Yeah, because that's what Heavenly said on her Patreon.
I'll be right back.
She said she didn't realize when she talked to Carlos King that they were actually showing the actual thread. She said, because we all have said some pretty bad things on there. She said, we all going to hell for the shit we talk about on there. She said, I have to talk to my publicist to see what all I got to straighten up, with them releasing the text threads. She said, because I never thought, it was going to be a part of the show. So Toya, I think she's worried that Dr. Heavenly is probably going to win. And if she wins, what does that mean for the show?
Well, might mean that she can just be a friend.
Girl,
maybe not.
No, she need to be in Congress taking care of the shit.
Well, right. That's why I said, or maybe not. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with it. Either way, and it's not because I don't think she gives anything to the show. It's just I think that would be more important. I'm gonna go ahead and end us over here on TikTok.
Okay.
Because I'm sick of this damn little music.
Take.
Okay, there I go. I don't go live very often. But you're not okay. Well,
I hear.
Like after my time, but I have been live after so it's my scrolling time.
Oh,
I have it set up like hours I don't want to scroll in between, and so it's 11 o'clock. Okay. But I can still go. Like I've been on live after 11 o'clock, even since I had said that. That's why I'm like, I don't know why that little music came in. So sorry, everybody. But listen, we are going to find those things, and then I'll get us something we can get to posting, get the people involved in some engagement. Okay. And I hope Dr. Heavenly does win.
I hope
she does.
Yeah, Trump is doing now. He's holding up the funds for TANF, CCDF, and some other grants that have to do with the safety nets. And that CCDF, that's the monies that and he's only doing that in California. He's doing it in Minnesota. All Democrat-led states. They ought to pull their federal dollars.
And New York. Here's the thing that's probably more effed up. Let's go ahead and end this live, and we'll talk about it offline.
All righty. So we're going to say, we bid you guys a good night. I got to listen to the other live so I can remember what I said about angels.
Angels.
The
I want them to come to me in my dream. I'll be like, oh, that's what you called us.
I can't remember. But I would say the episode for Married in Medicine was about a 7. And
7.
Potomac, I think it was a 6. So
again, I'm gonna give Eugene and Toya props for just being able to come back and just show whatever their process is about what we saw and getting, past that, right? Yeah. For their house, for their marriage. I'll accept it. I'm not here to tell anybody like, oh, well, I think I appreciate Eugene for being the guy that he is, because you got to be that way. Yeah. So
it's a good man.
Cheers to Eugene.
Yes.
Little dick and all. Okay. Now, that's just a little jokey joke. It's Toya's fault. Because I don't know what she meant when she said that they dick wouldn't get bigger. I'm just thinking like, huh? Like, I don't know. I didn't understand that at all. Even if she was drunk, because you know what they said?
Yeah, speak sober thoughts, right? Well, well, with that being said, it's been another one. And tomorrow we'll come back with you with our Love and Marriage Huntsville review. So we can talk about old Maurice with the lock refrigerator and the porn, girl.
Maurice be doing a lot, honey.
Girl.
Kimmy is a saint, right?
Yeah, I said, Lord have mercy. The woman probably going through menopause, and he.
That's why I said Kimmy is a saint, because I feel like with her, like and that look, it's funny because I get that. I feel like I get that shit from her ass, but yeah, I admire Kimmy a lot. I admire the way she able to keep herself in tune with
you
some
know what?
things.
And with that thought with Maurice, I believe everything Martell said.
Okay,
I do. I do.
The thought crossed my mind, right? Because I made it sound like who does that, you know? Like, but like when you, when those are the, I can, okay.
Yeah, but they on them trips because you shouldn't take damn trip without your wife.
I ain't never had a husband, so I don't know.
If he act like he in need like that,
tell you is so because what I mean is like like younger, I don't know. I might have felt a little different, but today, like because of my age, if I do get married, I wouldn't imagine that you want to spend time with any other my thought process is that you don't need boy time. You know what I'm saying? Like that it'll be our time, and that it wouldn't be something I have to explain, ask for, or anything. Your life should be in a place where you tired of hanging with your boys. You know what I'm saying?
They still do, they do the boys' trips.
Your husband do boy trips?
No, he never did, but I do girls trips.
Oh, you do girls trips?
The cousins, yeah, we do it. And don't be mad. Yeah. Well, they my friends. Shit. And so, I mean, we doing what women do, but if he act like he got to have it 2-3 times a day, he don't need to be apart from her.
Yeah, no, that is very yeah.
Juvenile.
Chauvinistic and juvenile. Yeah, it's chauvinistic too.
He just jumping up on her. She ain't even having a good time.
Right. We thought that whole cancer ordeal was
girl.
Like what he had to say during that. We thought that was something, but no.
Girl, that's crazy. Gotta be like, Lord have mercy. But we get to talk about him tomorrow. So you guys have a great evening. And let me go and see about this grandbaby. Good night.
Yes. Good night.
Girl, what the hell? Okay, here we go.